We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Cousins now. The quick slant caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Olabisi Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Elliott. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
On first down, it's Elliott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, Elliott. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
It's third down and 4.
54 Mike. Ready?
Third and short yardage, Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. On third down, Cousins. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now Austin. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons.
A gain of 4. It's now
A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Benjamin on the tackle. It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 3.
These two teams all tied after one. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they fell behind early, but since then, 2 touchdowns and a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, they found the end zone on their first 2 drives, and even more so after the defense gave up the first lead. But these last 2 drives, obviously they inspired their D because they shut them down the last time out. They hope to continue that string.
That one goes for 30 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do, put a man on him. The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Now Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this one complete to Smith. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Go, get out there.
Now Prescott. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. A gain there of 21 yards. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Cousins to throw it. It's caught. Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Cousins. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on error.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's got his rookie tight end, Trevon Wesco. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's third down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. And remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Come on, dude.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here go 46. Mike 54. Mike 54. 26.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 18. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working.
Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Prescott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
A first down throw for Cousins. And Diggs has it. Now the ball comes loose. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw, Cousins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Tighten up. Kill.
X3, 218, chopper.
Play fake, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. And it'll be intercepted. Chidobe with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah,
then with
right.
the Eagles?
That's right. He's then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch 54. Let's go.
Prescott from the gun. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the pass.
And an alley to run. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Andrew Sendejo in on the stop.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Cooper was the intended target. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane.
And now here's another interception. Xavier Woods with a pick. They were looking for Johnson that time.
Intercepted.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, what a catch there by Cooper. Well, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
I got one.
On the counter, Elliott. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Looking deep in the direct. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Intended that time for Cooper. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. There's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Cousins now from the 50. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 22. Prescott now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. Here it's 3rd and 3. A give to Elliott. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Elliott running right. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Let's put that team on the bus.
They go to Elliott again. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And they take a knee.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Here we go.
Mike 54.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Shift. Watch the shift. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Cowboys, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.